What's up, guys? This is Kephas.
When I think about my years in World of Warcraft, I can say that the pacing of content has swung like a pendulum. We've had long stretches where it felt like the game was frozen in time. Wrath's Ice-Crown Citadel lingering for a year, Siege of Orgrimmar stretching out for even longer. Back then, the conversation was about content droughts and wondering how to fill the gaps. Fast forward to today, and the pendulum has swung hard in the opposite direction. Now it feels like WoW never takes a breath. July and August of this year was stacked to the ceiling. In retail alone, July opened with the Collector's Bounty event, a 1-month mountain transmog hunt that sent players across old raids and dungeons. Right on top of that, Turbulent Time Waves was in full swing, with a rotating lineup of time-walking dungeons and XP bonuses. And right in the middle of the month, the Winds of Mysterious Fortune returned. Not to mention the loot goblins that were showing up in capital cities every hour. And as all of this came to an end at the beginning of August, patch 11.2 would launch, bringing a brand new Mythic Plus season and raid tier. Over in Classic era, Anniversary Realms were marching toward the gates of Encourage while Season of Discovery Realms were winding down. And at the same time, the MoP Classic pre-patch would launch at the beginning of July, the full expansion would launch later on in the month, and the first raid, Mogashan Vaults, would open on July 31st. It all sounds great on paper, there's so much to do, and yet no matter what you do, you feel like you're missing out on something else. With all the events going on in retail alone, the more you try to keep up, the more you realize none of it actually works together. If you want to farm Time Waves for XP, you're not going to be getting satchels from the Winds of Mysterious Fortune. You're also not going to benefit from the Collector's Bounty drop increases. Not unless you run the exact same dungeons outside of time walking. Aside from stacking XP buffs, which was admittedly nice, the events didn't really synergize very well. And that forces players into bottleneck choices. Do this or do that, and for a limited time. And that's the core of the problem, because having lots to do in an MMO is amazing. But when it's lots to do in a short amount of time and everything is pulling you in opposite directions, that's when it creates the same pressure you see in other live service games, the fear of missing out. I've heard from plenty of players in recent weeks saying they feel overwhelmed or burnt out, not because they dislike the game, but because they can't shake the feeling that if they log off, they're falling behind. Some simply skip entire events knowing they can't do it all. Others try to juggle everything and end up resenting the game they logged in to enjoy. And then there's poor MoP Classic, caught right in the middle of it. It launched into one of the busiest stretches WoW has ever had. For a lot of players, that makes MoP Classic the least compelling option on the table. And while MoP has a lot to offer, it's not quite classic. So for players who want that old school journey, they've got Classic Anniversary. And with all the events happening in retail, with more to come, MoP almost seems like the middle child, overshadowed by both. Some of this is just reality. We have to accept we can't do everything, in games or in life. If you want to push hard into Season 3 of The War Within, you're probably not going to get very deep into AQ War Effort. And if you're doing AQ 40, you're probably not going to be raiding in MoP Classic. And if you do any of these things, then you're not going to be making any progress on your extensive backlog, which only exists because you spend all of your gaming time playing WoW. Sorry I kind of slipped that one in there. That one's mostly just for me. I really like video games. And that's kind of the thing when it comes to dealing with FOMO. You have to accept that you're going to miss out on some things, and there's no way around that. But to be fair, part of this is on Blizzard's side. Event timing and design matter. A packed schedule can be exciting, but when multiple events compete for the same limited player time and none of them overlap in goals, you create frustration. When events do synergize, like MoP Remix for example back in 2024, where you could level, collect transmogs, and farm mounts all in one activity, people engage more and feel less punished for picking one thing over another. MoP Remix was an awesome event, probably my favorite event in all of WoW, but for these smaller events there are more straightforward fixes. Space out events so they don't directly cannibalize each other. Build more cross-event progress. Let my dungeon runs count for more than one limited time track. Keep rewards available in some form after the event ends so missing a window doesn't mean missing it forever. And possibly most importantly, accept that quiet periods aren't a bad thing. A few weeks without a major event isn't a content drought, it's breathing room. It gives players the freedom to step away and come back refreshed instead of guilty. I sincerely think that Blizzard's been doing a lot right lately. The War Within era has been one of the most active and creative stretches WoW has seen in years. I've been having more fun with the game in the past couple of years than I've had in a very long time. But activity without a little breathing room turns into stress. And the best events are the ones you can fully enjoy without feeling like you've left something else behind. And if I were to offer up any sincere feedback, I think it would be good for Blizzard to find that balance. I never want to return to those year-long content droughts ever again, and I do like seeing more activities in the game, but preferably at a pace and structure that excites players instead of exhausting them, because the fear of missing out is a lousy reason to log in.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button, and feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. And if you'd like to see more videos, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook, and if you'd like, you can support my work on Patreon. Links to all that stuff can be found in the description below. This is Kephas. Until next time.